It is 5:30 PM and we'll begin the board meeting. We'll start with the public hearing tonight, and with the roll call, Dr. Ariel Cruz Vela, present. Crystal Hernandez,
Present.
Israel Villarreal, Rudy Corona,
Present.
Frutoso Gomez, Orlando Lopez,
Present.
Alex Reina, Alfredo Perez,
Present.
Tony Torres. Next, we'll have public comment. This is 2.1, public comment on San Benito CISD's proposed tax rate.
The next item on the agenda is public comment, but before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comments. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public according to the following. At regular board meetings, the board shall permit public comment, regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. At all other board meetings, public comment shall be limited to items on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting.
Anyone who would like to speak during a public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the topics they want to discuss. An individual with public comments to the board should not exceed 5 minutes per meeting.
Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. We ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own children.
In addition, the participating individual shall adhere to the following. State their full name and what organization or group, if any, is being represented. Indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. Shall refrain from commenting directly on the individual employee or public official by name, but may refer to a specific employment area, job title, or the board as a whole, and shall refrain from attacks on individuals.
Lastly, if after at least one warning from the presiding officer, any individual continue to disrupt the meeting by his or her words or actions, the presiding officer may request assistance from law enforcement officials to have the individual removed from the meeting.
If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint that should be addressed through the district grievance process, District Policy DGBA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and Policy GF addresses community member complaints.
Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or at the district central administration offices.
Our first speaker is Ms. Mary Maney.
Good evening, Board President, board members, and Superintendent, as well as the community. I was reading through on the proposed adopting for disaster pennies, and this is a really, really good concept when you start to look about the amount of damage, you know, where school systems were kind of wiped out a little bit and having to replace all that stuff. But my question was, it didn't really make sense on were they adding to the proposed rate you had, if it was incorporated or something like that. So if we could get some clarification on that, that would be a nice thing. So as I said, that's basically what I was just interested in on it, because as I said, we have been lucky. Since I've been here in 2014, we have been blessed and managed to miss it all, and hopefully we continue in that same format. But, you know, who knows when the next dolly might come through, right? Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Maney.
Okay, there's no more public comments for the tax rate. Moving on to agenda item 3, discussion and presentation of San Benito CISD's proposed tax rate.
Chris?
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board.
Mr. Perez. I want to go over the notice, have a little presentation out here. The notice that was posted in the media, the proposed rate is 0.7869 for maintenance and operations. The INS rate would be 2.2637 for a total rate of 1.0506. Let me break down what makes up the maintenance and operation rate. It's 0.6169, that's the MCR that's calculated by TEA. The next 12 cents is 5 golden pennies and 7 copper pennies that has been previously approved by voters. And then in the 0.7869, to answer the question we had, are the additional disaster pennies that we're proposing. The INS tax rate, it's obviously to pay off our bond indebtedness. I have listed there on the slide the amount of outstanding principal that we have. That's the INS rate that goes to pay off the debt. Now, the total tax rate is 1.0506. It does go up from last year, an increase of 0.021805 or 2.18 pennies. But I will get to the reason for that in a later slide. As we can see here on this slide here, the taxable value is 1,691,262,133. As compared to last year, it was 1,668,520,185 for an increase of $22,741,948 of taxable value. Next slide. With the proposed rate, for the average taxpayer, it would be an increase of $14.30, just FYI. Next slide. In 2024, there was a disaster declaration based on Hurricane Beryl. I know this is a little small, but Cameron County is listed in there. Because of this, we're allowed to raise the tax rate 5 cents without going for voter approval because of this disaster declaration. Next slide will show the net effect of that. I know this is a little bit small, but if we raise the tax rate 5 cents on the M&O side, we're looking at an estimated $3,053,000 of additional revenue for the district. Any questions regarding the tax rate? Good.
Next, we're moving on to community comment. Since this is a public hearing, if anybody has any questions regarding the tax rate, Ms. Maney, you can come up to the podium.
Probably ask if we're back here and still be heard. The 0.05 cents for the disaster pennies, where does that go? Is it going into a separate fund? Is it going to go into the general fund? Or how is that handled?
Just as the 0.6169 and the 12 copper additional pennies, this also goes into the M&O rate, and it helps us with our state aid. So to answer your question, to the maintenance and operations, M&O.
Are there any other comments regarding the presentation on the tax rate? Okay, moving on to adjournment. We are going to adjourn this public hearing at 5:39 p.m.